Hey guys, I'm back again. I just wanted to say a quick thank you so much for the love and support on my last video. Well, part one of my Prismacolor colouring. I've gotten about 21,000 views on that. So thank you for all the thumbs up and if you've shared it and subscribing. I've actually got more views on that video in the last month than I have in all of my videos combined in the past year and a half. So thank you so much. I did already film this today, and unfortunately for some reason my memory card decided to delete everything on it. So when I went to edit and I couldn't find my files on iMovie, I plugged it back into my computer and it said everything was corrupted and it just erased everything. So I am really annoyed because, as you can see from the last time in part two, this has been coloured and this has been coloured too. And I did film me colouring that, which I'm so upset about because I had fun colouring it and I know you guys enjoyed watching me. You said it was therapeutic. So thank you for that. And another thing as well, I was asked by a lovely lady about wax bloom, and I actually never heard of it before, so I did do some research, and I did notice when I went back to my other pieces of art, I actually had wax bloom on them. So funny enough, I actually filmed part, because this part here actually had wax bloom on it, and I did film showing you how to get rid of it. So because I can't re-show you because it's disappeared now, I'm gonna have to tell you. Basically with the wax bloom, all I did was get some Vaseline and I just put it in this little tub and one of these earbuds because it's more precise. I put a little bit of Vaseline on and all I did was go over the surface of it. As you can see, it's pretty shiny because of the Vaseline, and instantly it disappeared. Like, it went from cloudy, because you know when it's got a wax bloom on it, it's when it goes very cloudy and it's very dull. So there's two options. You can just get like one of these makeup wipes. They're like 100% cotton, and you can just rub it over for a bit and it will get rid of it. But after a while it might come back. I haven't left it alone long enough to test it, but if you give it a wipe over, it will get rid of it. But option number two is using the Vaseline, which to me, I'm gonna I'll give it another week to keep you guys updated, see how that's doing. But I have noticed that it got rid of it straight away and it gave it like a protective film over it, so I don't think it will be coming back. So just a heads up for that. I was also asked if I use a blender pencil. No, I do not use a blender pencil. I use the pencils blend together, like they blend with each other. Because I never use just one colour, so I use multiple colours, so I use them to blend together. So that's how I blend my pencils. If I was to use just one colour, then yes, I would use the blender pencil. I do have them just in case, they did come in my set. So just to answer that, I don't use one, but I have them just in case. I have a pencil extender, and I'll show you, because my white is actually extremely tiny now, and I've got bite marks on because my hands were too greasy to sharpen it, so the only way I could do was with my teeth, because I tried an elastic band and it was just too wide. So what you got to do is just loosen it up, plonk it in there, and then slide this up and it does tighten. So there you go, you've got a pencil extender. And this was actually from a local art store. This was like $4 something, but I actually got this one, and this came in a pack of 2, and I got these on eBay for 34 cents and free shipping. So they are really inexpensive, because I've seen them in Michael's for like a blender set for Prismacolor, which is like pencils, an eraser, one of these, and some other stuff, but it's like $22. I know you can use a coupon, but I don't want the rest of that. I just wanted an extender. So you can get these on AliExpress for next to nothing, eBay for next to nothing, free shipping. Yeah, it took about 2.5-3 weeks to get to me, but I've got 2 of them now. Well, now I've got a third one. So they're really handy if you want to get them just down. You might as well make the most out of your pencil because they are expensive after all. So I'm determined to get this as small as I can before I say goodbye to it. So that's pretty funny. I was asked what sharpener I use, and I use this one. It's the Cum, K-U-M, I think that's how you say it, and it's the long point. And all you got to do, if you can see here, you got 1 and 2 numbered on here, so I'll just open it. All you have to do is plop your pencil in number 1, sharpen it all the way so the lead touches this part here. That's why it's extended here. It even says stop. And then once you've got that, you put it in number 2, and it just shaves the lead. It doesn't shave the wood to a very, very sharp point. And I'll just grab one of my pencils. I've got this one here, and then I've got this one. It's even sharper, but I have used it, and I have noticed that because it does extend it a whole long point, because like when you first get prismas, they're very stubby. So I have noticed that they're pretty strong, but you still don't want to press really, really hard with them because they will break. And as you know, Prismacolors, the cores are very soft, so they tend to break very easily. So don't drop your pencils because the whole lead inside will continuously break every time you sharpen them. You're going to have to just throw the pencil away, and it's a waste of money. So please be careful with these pencils when you're storing them or carrying them around. Do not drop them. So I do have a little tiny bit of a tutorial because I'm so sad, but I might do some more colouring as well just to add to this, because I feel bad that I did all of this on film and it got corrupted. So I'll end up doing some more colouring and adding it at the end of the video just so you guys can see me colour, because I know some of you guys liked it. So as to going to the blending, I have these examples here. Let's zoom in. Okay, so I just have a blank box now because I'm going to blend 2 colours together. This is how I do my blending. This box, I'm going to use a blender pencil to show you how, and I've pressed hard here and I've pressed light here, so I'm going to show you what it looks like. And this one, I'm going to burnish it with a white pencil, which I know a lot of people do. I do that sometimes when I want a lighter colour than I want, because sometimes I have a certain colour but I don't have a lighter shade of that colour, so I just go over it with white to lighten it up. Or if there's a highlight as well, I'll do that. But other than that, I won't blend or burnish with the white. I'll just use the colours over each other to blend each other. So I know a lot of you guys do use the blender, and I don't condone it. Like, I'm not saying don't use it because it's actually very handy for certain things, but personally I don't use it myself. And then down here, I wanted to show you the difference between erasers or rubbers. Oops. I've got a dust-free Faber-Castell art rubber here, and it just bunches all the shavings together so it doesn't make as much of a mess. And I have a kneaded eraser here, which is from I can't say the name, but it's this brand here. And also, if you the sharpener is about 10 Canadian dollars. Sometimes it's more. You can get on Amazon, eBay, and some local art stores. But if not, you can just use a generic. This is like a $2 sharpener. This is actually pretty good. I use the small one to sharpen it, and then I use the bigger hole to make a point on the actual lead so it's nice and sharp. So that's why I do use the double one, just to sharpen it and then just to get a nice sharp point. But then when I recently got this new one, this is just, you're not going to get anything sharper than this. This is like out of this world. So I wanted to do some examples of, like, if you make a mistake, which ones to use. But it's kind of hard because if you do make a mistake with these colours, it's not exactly as easy as you think to get rid of it. So you've got to try and not make mistakes. I know that sounds difficult. But I've done a hard pressure, a light pressure, and same again here, because I'm going to use this one on that one and then this one on this one. And before, I did try it with different colours, not just the black, and both of these did absolutely nothing to coloured pencils, like not just the black but colors, it did nothing. It did not erase it or anything, didn't even touch it basically. All I had was just a little bit of a stain on this one, that was it. So into the tutorial of this, I'm going to be blending, because one of my favorite colors is blue and aqua, so I'm going to blend these two. I'm going to blend the aquamarine and the non-photo blue. These are one of my favorite colors to use in these shades, because I don't know, they just blend like butter together, especially when you get to the light aqua and the aquamarine. These blend so nicely. So just an example, you can work in layers, so you can go light and then you can go even lighter when you go to it, and then get the other color and then go light and then get even lighter as you get into the other color. If I zoom in a little bit so you can see better. And then you want to get a little bit more pressure going on, and then lightly lift your pencil up as you get further up. Go back to your other one. A little bit harder, and then as you go down you want to lighten up on the pressure. So you're building layers basically. So then you want to keep going over each other, going back and forth with each other till you get the blending that you want. And the good thing about these, you can keep going over and over and over until you get to the point where it's blended as much as you can. And there we go. And as you can see, I have to keep wiping it because it does get some like wax residue, like build up. So you got to be careful as well when you're just clearing it off, because it can smudge on the rest of your paper. So I'd be careful of that. I know I'm like rubbing it off myself, but it's just a habit of going like this, and I've smeared so many pictures in the past and I need to get out of that habit. So basically you just keep going over each other until you get the blend you want, and that's just using 2 pencils. I know it's hard to see in this lighting. I'll try and, come on camera, there we go. So you can see that this is a bit darker than light, and as you can see it does blend very nicely. You can barely see where the 2 colors are separate. I'm trying to get the best lighting, there you go. So, and then this one, I'm going to get my blender pencil. So this is the colorless blender, which is PC 1077. And as you can see, I've done hard and light. So I'm going to go over this, and it doesn't really do much to this. It just burnishes a little bit. And then, I'm sorry about the lighting. It's getting towards sunset now, and I'm on this coffee table. So I'm pressing pretty hard right now. And as you can see, as I go over the lighter, it smudges it out a bit more. So you can go back and forth, or you can go in a circular motion, which I prefer to do actually, because it seems to blend it a lot nicer. And you can go over it quite a few times. Just go round and round until you get the blend that you want. And as you can see, more residue. So there we go. So that blends it pretty nicely, and as you can see, it does stain the pencil, so you want to get like a scrap piece and just scribble it off. So like on here, you can just scribble it all over to get it clean again, or you can get like a little bit of fine sandpaper, and there you go, nice and clean again. So you don't want to mix your colors, so you want to make sure you clean it off every time you move to a new color. Otherwise, you're going to get blue on something else, and you're going to put a darker color and ruin something else, and you're going to think, oh my god, I've ruined it. So make sure you clean it off every time you've used it. Once again, you can use sandpaper or just a scrap piece. And then next, I'm going to get my itty bitty little white, and I'm going to show you how to burnish it with white. And I will warn you, burnishing it with white will obviously lighten it. But that's why you want to go for a darker color, knowing it will go lighter. Or if you want a lighter color on purpose, then there you go. So as you can see, just by going like this, I've lightened the color already. So you want to make sure it's even coverage. So I'm going to start up here, and I'm going to go down here. And as you can see, it is blending it a little bit, but it's kind of streaky. So once again, I'm going to go in a circular motion so I can give it even coverage. I'm going to go over it several times until I get the blend that I want. And then I can go back and forth. I can go around in circles. And I think, there we go. Just an example. As you can see, oh, come on camera. There we go. As you can see, it has lightened it a lot compared to the original as it was. So it is pretty nice if you want like an ombre effect. Yes, it will lighten the color. And it does like blend out the lighter version. Like if you've pressed very lightly, it does blend out very nicely. And you can always go back over it again if it's too light for you. So there we go. And the good thing about Prismacolors, you can layer them and layer them and layer them. And once again, you can go back over with the white just to blend it in a little bit more. So you can just keep going back and forth. So that's 3 different, there's probably more, but there's 3 different ways of blending. You can just do the 2 colors together. You can do the blender pencil, or you can burnish it with the white, which like I said, I only do when I want a highlight. So sorry if you hear noises, it's my little 4.5-month-old just sitting next to me. So onto the erasers. So as you can see here, I've got a hard pressed black, a lighter pressure on the black, and I'm going to use this one. So I'm going to press pretty hard on both. And as you can see, it took a little bit off, it took a little bit more off, but it's still here. That's the only thing. It's okay if you've made a mistake like, oh, I've put too much black. You can layer another color on top. So if I get this dark green, I can go back over it and you won't be able to tell that the black was originally there, because these pencils are so pigmented that they basically go over a lot of other colors. The lighter the color, the more pigment it has, I've noticed, so it goes over darker colors a lot easily. So then I'm going to grab this one and I'm just going to put like a small point to it. I'm going to rub it and I'm going to rub it. I'm going to dab it. Nothing happens. So these kneaded erasers, they are great for pencil. If I just put, if I just do this, it does, see, it does erase pencil pretty good. It does erase pencil pretty good. So that's pretty good, but for colored pencil, it's no use. This one, it can help a little bit, but once again, you got to try and avoid mistakes if you can, because it's nearly impossible to get rid of pencils, especially the Prismas, because they're so pigmented. You can lighten it, so you can put another color on top of it, making it easier, but it won't completely get rid of it. Another thing as well I was asked is what white pens I use. I only use 2, and that is the unibazl Signo Broad, and that's got a 0.6 millimeter, I believe, and the Jelly Roll. I'm not sure what size that one is, but it's not as pigmented as the unibazl. That is a lot more white and opaque. The Jelly Roll is a little bit more transparent, but it is pretty good if you want to do sparkles, because it is a lot finer than the unibazl. But if you want, bless you, but if you do want that white on your pictures, I definitely recommend the unibazl Signo. It does work on the waxy surface, but I will warn you, it does scrape off. So if you're not very careful and you manage to, I don't know, scrape it with your fingernail, it will come off. So that's a bit unfortunate, but if you put a bit of hairspray or fixative on top of your finished piece, or even keep it in a plastic wallet, you're good. So, but I'm just saying, you can't just hang it up with no glass in front of anything, because if it gets scratched, the white pigment will definitely come off straight away. But like I said, it does work. I'll actually show you an example of it working on the waxy surface, because as you can see, I've burnished this, so I'll just use an example. So this is the unibazl Signo, and straight away there you go. You got like, you can do starbursts, and it's pretty good for dots. You can do big dots and smaller dots, so it's pretty good for galaxies like I done. And then this is the Jelly Roll by Sakura, and it doesn't work straight away all the time. So a little trick is to use the warmth of your finger to get it going again, or even just scribble it off on another piece. So it's a lot finer, and like I said, it's not as good as this one. It doesn't glide as nicely, but it's still pretty good for dots. As you can see, like the smaller dots for your galaxy are a lot smaller than the ones that the unibazl does. So once again, it's pretty good, but as for a consistent line, you're not gonna get it. Well, I've yet to have a consistent line. So if it stops working, just scribble it on your finger and it'll start working again on the waxy surface. But to be honest, I highly recommend the unibazl, because I tell you, this is the most pigmented white gel pen I've ever come across. And another thing, that once it's dry, don't go back over it again, because it will start to scrape it. I don't know if, like, it'll start to scrape it, like it'll come off completely because of obviously the waxy surface. And I'll even show you what the white does on the black. So that's how pigmented it is, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I love this, and you can get these in art stores, anywhere that sells gel pens or art supplies. I got this at Michael's, but I also ordered some on eBay. I got a pack of 5 for only $6 Canadian and free shipping. So I recommend looking on Amazon or even eBay, because you can get packs of 2, 3, 4, even 5. So these pens are pretty good. But yeah, oh, before I go, I actually just wanted to quickly mention all my art pads that I've got. Okay, so to begin with, I have let's zoom out, a pastel. You're probably thinking, you don't use pastels, but I only got it because of the colors. I have blue, I have a smoky gray, I have a nice orange, a nice creamy color, and a nice off-white. I know it's a bit hard to see in this lighting. Let's see if I can. You got different colors in here. So I thought that'd be nice for different projects. This one I'm looking forward to using, and that's the Art Again, and that's just black. And I got all of these from Michael's. I used my 40 off coupon, and I can't wait to do something on this. I do have an idea, so if you follow me on Instagram, which is linked down below, you'll see what my next project is going to be. So I'm looking forward to using the black one. I have a Bristol board here, which is, bless you, £135, which is pretty nice and thick. And this is just white, so I'm not a huge fan of using white. But if I do have a picture that doesn't involve any white colouring at all, I would use white so it can stand out. But if I do end up using whites and greys, I like to use a darker paper so it stands out a lot more. I have the toned tan, which I use quite a lot. And lately I've started using the toned grey, which is pretty nice. The toned tan is good, but if you start using beiges and peaches, they don't stand out as very good. So your best bet, if you want to do flesh coloured drawings like Mickey Mouse, Mickey and Minnie, they have like a flesh colour, or even people, I suggest using the toned grey because of the grey nature. That's one of my next projects. Jack and Sally in a stained glass. You'll see that on Instagram soon. I highly recommend the toned grey if you want to use blacks, whites, other colours apart from flesh and beige. So that's pretty good. And lastly but not least, I'll quickly flick through my artwork for you. So this is your best friend. I did mention it in the first part video of just Googling I got the 132. So just Google what size set you have and color chart. Print it off in color, I recommend, because the names are all done in color. If you do it in black and white, you're going to lose some of the, if I just zoom in, some of them are very lightly colored, so you're going to lose it if it comes out in black and white. So first of all, I have my cute little Simba that I did. So that's that one. I have my Galaxy, Mickey and Minnie. I have my Galaxy, Fantasia and regular Mickey. So I absolutely love this one. It's hard to see because of the plastic shining, but I love the dimensions on all his shorts and his robe. I have one of my favorites, which is Bambi. I absolutely love this one. I have my stained glass. Ooh, excuse you. Sorry. My stained glass Ariel. And then I have my very first attempt at Prismacolor colouring. So this is Beauty and the Beast, and I absolutely love how this came out. If you can see the shading, it's like butter. So if you want to actually view all of these, they're actually, excuse the mess on there. If you actually want to view my artwork, then please check me out on Instagram. Everything is going to be linked down below. And if you guys want to see some colouring of this, then please stay tuned. I'm going to add a little bit more. It won't be much. I just wanted to make a more informative video for everybody that was asking a bunch of questions. So yeah, thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for subscribing, liking and commenting. If you have any more questions, please comment down below. I'll try my best to reply. And yeah, please follow me on Instagram. I'm active pretty daily. I do check out, if I don't post every day, I'm always on there looking at other people's artwork. So everything about me that you need to know, everything that's used in this video, from the colouring and the explaining, will be linked down below as well, everything I've used. So yeah, thank you so much guys for watching. Please like, subscribe and follow me on Instagram. Stay crafty guys. Bye.